Frankie here. Today I am here with Mark Galantis, B-Boy Montuu here in Toronto, Canada. Unknown Flow Force, of course, to talk about experience and knowledge on breaking. Mark, thank you so much for joining me today. It's an honor.
No worries, bro. Thank you for having me and thank you for the patience and, just making it out to Toronto for this interview. Kind of crazy.
I was just talking to this one. I set up this script over a year and a half ago. This one's long overdue. The first footage I ever saw of you, I want to say, was in 21, in the height of the CDS.
Yeah.
First started.
Yeah.
One of the first things I actually wanted to start out with, of course we're going to get into breaking. I'm always interested to understand and listen to breaker stories, what they do professionally outside of the dance. I understand you do some graphic design.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about DOC?
Yeah, so DOC is a small creative agency that my brother and I started. So Jarek, Colyantes, Anyo. Again, there's three of us. We all break, but Jarek and I started DOC because during the pandemic, as you mentioned, I actually got laid off from my agency job, and during that time, Jarek and I basically just decided on the spot is like, hey yo, we both do creative work. Let's just team up and create our own small practice. So long story short, we've been doing it for 5 years now. Jarek mainly handles photo video and I handle graphic design and any sort of design. And that's what I went to school for, graphic design in Algonquin College. And yeah, since then I've kind of fallen in love with design, and the duality of being a designer and a breaker is kind of like the perfect balance. I always tell people that when I have creative block design-wise, I just move, then I'm good. And then when I'm having visual, creative block, I just, I just break, and then I'm also good. So it's kind of like activating both creative parts without burning myself out, too quickly.
Just in general, being able to have your own thing, your own company, I mean, it's just a different energy. It gets you up out of bed a different way than working a job, right?
Oh no, definitely. It's it's this funny quote that I heard or it appeared on Instagram one day. It's like, you quit your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. It's definitely super rewarding because at the end of the day, to your point, we're driving our own business and you're your own boss. But it has its pros and cons. As you say, the motivation getting up is different. You gotta be accountable and you have to be super honest with yourself. It's kind of like breaking. You know that if you don't practice, someone else is practicing. So it's the same kind of way that I see it for design and my professional career in that sense is that if I'm not making stuff, someone else is making the stuff I want to make. So it's that competitiveness that's in all of us, but I feel like I just feed that personality more and I lean into it because I just want to be good at the stuff that I do at the end of the day.
I know a lot of small business owners and people that have started their own thing, and one of the things that seem to be a consistent challenge is the people that you work with.
Yeah.
From my perspective, just in general, teaming up with family is actually some of the best people you can work with, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. To be honest, when my brother and I work together on set, whenever we're just doing projects together, most of the time our communication is nonverbal. It's kind of weird to be on set with us because Jarek and I would just look at each other, give a nod or a certain eye movement, and it's we kind of get what the other person needs to do. And I noticed this not because I noticed it the first time, but my girlfriend and some of our friends tell us that, yeah, you guys don't really talk much when you're on set, but you just move and go do your stuff when you're working. It's kind of weird to witness, but yeah, it's great to work. Again, it's not for everyone, I feel because my brothers and I were super close. We literally did everything together since we were kids, from sports to basketball to breaking, all that stuff when we were together. So it was we're super competitive and we understand each other. But again, to what I said earlier, I don't think it's for everyone because I've heard some businesses fail because it was within family, right? But yeah, I guess I'm just super lucky that my working relationship with my brother is super smooth. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Let's go back to the creative approach you were talking about with respect to design and breaking. I love to hear these kinds of things where people find inspiration from breaking. You can find it from anywhere, right? Can you talk a little bit more about how it has affected your breaking?
when I was in college, there was like one of my professors told me that when you're creating a logo or a solution for a problem, the first 50 ideas aren't the solution. So in design, you're taught of iteration and like consistent evolution of an idea. So again, I was already breaking when I was in high school. So when I was 15 and I went to college when I was like 17, 18, I'm forgetting now. It's been 15 years. That endless iteration that was built into me in design, I applied that into breaking because now whenever I create anything in breaking movement wise, I'm never satisfied. I'm always like searching for new different ways of getting in or out of a move, or even just like doing some of the combos that people know that I do. I've changed like that one single combo probably has 15 to 20 different variations. Breaking teaches you the grit. And if you apply that to design, it's the exact same thing. That's why I say it's like best of both worlds. Because at the end of the day, design and breaking is the same, but different, you know?
Your choice of words and how you describe these things. For the first part, you know, when it relates to design, just never be satisfied.
Yeah.
As an artist, never.
Yeah.
And then the second part, when you're talking about grit, I'm a civil engineer, and so
That's crazy.
I relate to the both sides of that,
Yeah.
but it's the thing like, you don't just, this sounds mean, but you just don't want to be a fucking nerd, right?
No, of course not. Like then that's the thing, right? Like that's what I notice. What I notice now in the new generation is that a lot of b-boys or b-girls or just breakers in general, they don't like the hip-hop culture as much as they like breaking as a movement. Like they are so obsessed with the movement, but they don't take the time to actually to learn the culture and to fall in love with the culture. Because at the end of the day, breaking is a single component of hip-hop. And if you're not about hip-hop, then that's where you look like a nerd. You know, even if you're the best breaker in the world, even if you have the most talent in the world, at the end of the day, if you don't like the culture of hip-hop and its people, let's be clear on that, and its people, then you just look like a nerd doing it. So it's like it's like a cultural thing, but yeah, that's the thing that I'm missing.
Culture-wise, you know, it really is trying to fit it into your life. Everyone's journey is so different to begin with. I mean, breakers that grow up in the suburbs are going to be different from people that grow up in the cities, that grow up in maybe less privileged places, but you just have to figure out how it fits you.
Exactly. And again, I'm not saying like, oh, you gotta act this way to be hip-hop. No, it's never that. It's like showing up to events, not just competitions, to jams, to parties. That's what hip-hop is. It's like, it's the community aspect of everything.
So this was back in 2015.
Yeah.
Under Pressure.
Oh,
2015.
snap. Yeah, no, it was Sweet Technique, Heavenly Breadcrumbs, and Hoging Ha. So Hoging Ha are our like homies. This is actually the first time we met them, like as a crew. That's where we met Eric Tran, Dennis Wong, Wagwan, Mike, our crew member, who we soon recruited into the crew. Benson is there too. And then we battled goddamn Sweet Technique. That lineup is crazy. Like Flayo, Vicious. Cool thing about this is when we first met the Porter twins, Ryan and Jared, and Tombo actually from Portland. We all teamed up to create Heavenly Breadcrumbs. And at that point, we were still repping our the crew that recruited us back in Ottawa, Breadcrumbs. Shout out to Ottawa and Breadcrumbs, that's our hometown. This one was kind of crazy because Jarek at the time has been breaking for like a year or two. I've been like breaking for like 3 at this point, I think. I'm not sure, but it was like we were still pretty fresh in it, but it was cool because that was the first time we teamed up with like an American crew. And it was a different kind of like awakening because, man, growing up in Ottawa, you always battle Sweet Technique no matter what, because Ottawa and Montreal is like 2 hours away. So I'm used to getting smoked by Sweet Technique, like no problem. But like when the American guys like joined up with us, I was like, oh, it's kind of like a weird newfound confidence.
Shout out to Sweet Technique.
Yeah.
Shout out to HGA. Shout out to Heavens, now
Yeah.
Elusive.
Yes.
See, we know our history here.
Oh, damn, that shirt. Oh, that was nice. Man, I have to bring back some of my old stuff. Oh, not this one. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. All attitude, yo. Shoot, crazy. I was braking way too fast. I still brake fast now, but when you're young, you just rah 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 all the time, right? But when you're younger, you just feel like you can take on the world, and especially like growing up in the Philippines, then moving here, then being told not to be angry and all that shit, but then braking shows up and then you can be angry again. So it's a weird thing. But yeah, like that's what I remember of myself. Just a lot of energy and a lot of like conviction. I guess that was like the innocence of being young, right? Like you just go for it.
Temperament wise, compared to your brothers, were you more of that?
Oh yeah. No, I was very angry child. Like my brothers didn't like me when we were younger because I was too hot-headed. We got into a lot of fights. Not just us, but like in the Philippines, like we fought a bunch of people in school and shit. But yeah, even watching back that clip, I was like, holy crap. Like there were some like cool ideas that I haven't thought about in such a long time.
I think another thing, if you look more at maybe your more recent footage, and this goes for your brothers too, it's not just the speed in terms of doing things fast, but the speed changes.
Yeah.
Being able to change up the rhythm.
Yeah, no, and I feel like that's because of our sports background. Like, since we were kids, even not even just doing sports, just like playing outside as kids in the Philippines, like we would literally like play tag with no flip flops, no shoes, like on the streets, and like on gravel. Like we were just those kind of kids that we would play like sports from an early age, and then when we moved to Canada, we signed up for every single sport from like taekwondo to basketball to wrestling. I sucked at like football or like American like soccer. I sucked at that. But like, yeah, I feel like the speed changes really was from that upbringing and that lifestyle of just being active at all times. I know that I was 12 years old, when 11 turning 12 when I moved from the Philippines. Yeah. And yeah, no, that move was crazy because again, like going from basically provincial lifestyle to like a city like Ottawa. Even Ottawa in itself is kind of like, I always tell people it's a sleepy city because it's a governmental city. It's the capital of Canada, so it has that kind of vibe, like university towns and all that stuff. So it kind of has that vibe. Mannerisms are different. The culture, the people itself. Like first day, I got sent to the principal's office because I almost knocked the kid out because he was just playing around, but I couldn't take a joke. So like I almost knocked him out. Like I chased him out of a classroom, grabbed him by the collar. Luckily enough, my homeroom teacher was there, and he kind of lost his shit. He was like, "What are you doing?" Me and Jarek, I think, got sent to the office first day, and then my mom had to deal with 2 phone calls, which was crazy.
How about from Ottawa to Toronto? When did that happen?
That happened. I moved here, I think, when I was 23. I'm 31 now. What happened was it was myself first. Moved here, moved in with my girlfriend, and then a couple months after, Jarek joined us to study photography in Sheridan, and Jason actually moved to the UK, and our mom still lives in Ottawa. I just graduated from college, right? And then I was like, I kind of want to try to make it out in the big city, and I want to see, of course, I want to see my girlfriend. We've been like long distance for a while at that point because she was living here in Toronto, and I was like, you know what, it's time to move because I gotta be a grown up and be my own person. I got an interview at this agency, the agency that I mentioned earlier. And I think I got the job because one of the principals, Stussy, shout out to Stussy and Lawrence Ted. Stussy liked A Tribe Called Quest, and they brought up the fact that I was a breaker. I think the day of or the next day, I think I got a call or something that's like, yeah, you're in. And I was like, it's kind of cool. It was like literally breaking got me my first like agency job.
Let's go to Rock Harder 2023, your prelim.
Oh, shoot. Oh yeah, no, I crashed this one. Holy crap. Oh, prelim round. Okay, I didn't crash this one. I crashed this one. Ooh, I like that combo. I've changed that already. Oh shit, I did that? Oh, that's cool. Change that too. Oh, that was not bad. I don't know, I might bring that back. Oh, that's cool. That was cool. I think the all-roundedness approach has always been like a thing for me anyways, because even when we're even in our crew right now, it's like we're trying to smoke each other. It's not even like external competition. It's like, yo, I want to beat Jason. Yo, I want to beat Kimar. Yo, I want to beat like the squad. But it's also sad because I miss the days where people specialize in things, right? Like, you know, the footwork guy or the headspin guy, or like that was very reminiscent of a certain era, which is cool.
Breakers are becoming better competitors. They might not necessarily be becoming better breakers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, the competition, especially the advent of the Olympics, changed a lot of people's approach to the dance. It's become more. It's become more formulaic. Like there's a formula to rounds now, which is crazy, cool. It's different, but it's not for everyone. You know, like I think, you know, when you're young, you kind of know the strengths that you have when it comes to breaking, like sound like or the things that you gravitate towards. For me, it was kind of like I gravitated to a lot of power, but my ability to do power wasn't by any means greater than anyone. I didn't really have talent for it. I put in a lot of work. I tell this to people, like if breaking was just top rock, I would be happy.
This is just my preference. I think I prefer a little bit of what you're describing than people really developing their technique and their foundation and mastery of a certain movement. Whereas now I feel like, as I was saying about the competition thing, people are more driven or more focused on the concepts, I think. Conceptual breaking.
Push breaking, push the ideas within breaking. But there is foundation, as you mentioned, there is foundation to what makes dance breaking, because at the end of the day you can be moving around and doing all crazy shit, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's breaking, because there's people out there that call themselves movement artists, and it's like they do like breaking-esque movements, but they have no relation to breaking at all. They don't even move to the same music. And I also, to that point, I think a big problem is the music that we're listening to, because like the clip we just watched, like sort of like a boom bap type music, and in a lot of big competitions, I'm generalizing here, in a lot of big competitions, what I hear is not necessarily like we've removed the lyrics. I grew up to listening to like Wu-Tang, to like Styles P, to like a lot of like boom bap slash like grimy hip hop, like Mobb Deep, all those stuff. Like even like Mos Def, like Black Star, like those kind of like that kind of music. Like especially when I get that during a battle, that's when I lose my mind, because I'm just like, oh thank God, like I'm gonna kill this right now. It's a movement if you move, but it's a dance and a culture if you move to the music that it was born from. Funny thing I did when I was younger, like there was a clip of B-Boy Born that like he did like I think it was Strife TV time, when he did an interview, and he was just saying like, yeah, when he was younger, he just was in his room and just played records, and he didn't even dance, he just listened to the music. Me being an impressionable kid, I literally did the exact same thing, bro. Like I locked myself in my room, played like James Brown to like hip hop shit, and I just listened to music. I didn't dance, I grooved and I bounced, but I didn't dance, I didn't break, I didn't two step. I was literally just sitting on my ass, just like bouncing. And I did that a couple times actually, just because I felt the need to actually brush up on what we call quote unquote musicality, or just being on music. Yeah, just listen to music, man.
We're gonna watch one more clip from you from this year. This is quarters.
Yeah. Oh, see? Shout out to Yaks. I hate that top rock, but it happened. And bam. Nice. Kind of crashed there, but whatever. Keep going. Wow. Nice. See? Not satisfied with that. I have like combinations of like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, but what ends up happening is that the music kind of like throws me off. The music is demanding a different set of movement, so I choose to like lean into that rather than trying to fight it. So I'll, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face kind of situation, right? Like that's what happens with me when I listen, like when I'm actually battling, is that I tell myself I'll do this and I'll do that. Then I listen, the DJ drops the track, then everything just goes out of the window, because my brain wants to do other things because of the music. So what I usually just do is like, okay, whatever the first combo was, go for it, and then the rest is whatever happens happens. Whatever you can remember first, do it. Whatever you can remember the best, do it. Pacing your dance is like one of the things that I still work on to this day. Just like learning how to breathe, taking pauses, and being like comfortable in the silence of it all, like for lack of a better word, because like I know breaking is like go 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 go, but no one's telling you to do that. Like you're telling yourself that you're allowed to revel in the moment. You're allowed to like literally like enjoy the moment. But again, the way that I break, and it's like specifically for my approach to breaking is, it's super like gotta get stuff done. But that's what I'm kind of like going back to, is like learning how to play again. That's the main difference between now and then, is because is then I had more spontaneity. My breaking was a bit more wild, which was good, but I didn't have the technique. So I overcorrected to the other side when it's like drill, like practice structure. Structurize all your shit. But now I've overcorrected too far. So now I'm in the process of my breaking where I'm like, okay, I gotta find a middle ground where I actually enjoy the dance again.
You have a few concepts going into the round, and then as the music's playing, you're listening to the music, you're conscious of it, and realizing there might be a little bit of a disconnect between the two. I think that's interesting because sometimes people that dance with a little more structure, and structure isn't bad.
No, it's not.
But some people that dance with more structure, they'll force it, and you can see it. You can see that they are clearly running around just because the music isn't there.
Yeah. And that's, again, let's call a spade a spade. No one freestyles, period. Because freestyle by definition means you haven't done that specific chain of movements ever. And I know for a fact that everyone practices. So, by definition, you've already done this movement. You've done the movement that you quote unquote say you freestyled. So, at the end of the day, everyone rehearses, everyone practices, so everyone is running around. But the difference is the context of the music. You might get lucky and you might have rehearsed this specific combination to this music, and you get lucky that at the jam they played that specific song, then you're gonna kill it, right? Like you're gonna, like, the stars aligned. But the true test of someone that is a dancer is to be able to move with the same ideas, concept, movements to a different music every single time and make it feel and look different. To me, that is dancing. Because there's only so many ways your body can move. Like, you're not like an action figure where your arm like twists and turns in all different ways. You're not a gizmo, you're not a gimbal. Like, there's a set range of movements. And each set of range of movements is specific to the person. But to look different with the same combination or the same movement or approach in different music, with different cadences, with different feels, I feel like that's what dancing is. And like, you can only two-step in so many different ways. You should be two-stepping differently if you're listening to a track by like Wu-Tang in comparison to a track like James Brown. There has to be, I hate this word, but a vibe change in your movements. If it's those kind of like two separate kind of sonics, right? Breaking is very scientific, that, you get what you put into it. But it's the mindset that's like super difficult to master. That's the unpredictable part of breaking. It's like you never know when the stars align, and then your brain is like, today's the day to activate it. But the thing is, that's the beauty of breaking. One of my most favorite like battles that I did recently was I think it was 2024 Rock Harder over here actually. when Kimar and I battled Mass and Frankie in the finals, and I remember Fleg dropping. Shout out to Fleg. It was like one of those like boom bap like grimy hip hop beats again. And when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna murder this! Like, I'm gonna body this." And the thing is, like, I was injured at the time, right? I had like an elbow brace and all that stuff. But I was like, okay, I can't do crazy moves, but I know I can kill this track. And like, I watched that clip and I was like, whoa, I'm so unbeat. It's kind of crazy. It's like every single pause, like lyrical choice, like a lyrical accent that the rapper was saying. I was like, oh, I was kind of hitting it. So like, even though my round was not as dynamic as I want it to be, like I wasn't doing like my usual power move stuff, but the dance in itself, I was like, I'm proud of that round because it was super like, I hate the word musical because people have different definition of what being musical is, but because to me there's a difference between listening to the music and being the music. James Brown has that uplifting kind of vibe, like soulful track, right? Where like Wu-Tang is like, I'm gonna fuck you up type shit. So if you dance and then when those two different songs play and you have the exact same feeling, I feel like that's a lost opportunity, right? Because it's like the song is telling you to be different, but all you're doing is this. That goes to your point, or like, structure isn't bad. I'm also like a very like analytical person. Breaking is where you like let loose and let that shit go kind of situation, right?
I love the way that you're able to articulate this point so well. Is now we're actually talking about breaking. You know what I mean? We're not just talking about techniques or style or approach, like the building blocks themselves. Now we're talking about the collective, what you should be trying to explore in your mindset.
Yeah. This idea is not novel. It's not new. I feel like this has been passed down to us by all of our OGs, whether it was through good experiences or bad experiences. I say this because, when I was growing up in the scene, it was very cutthroat. Like, it was very like hard knock, where it's like people look at you like sideways, like, who the hell is this kid? Like, yo, you're whack, to your face. And we had to build tough skin, and we were just like, okay, I'm gonna prove this motherfucker wrong. I'm gonna make him respect me, kind of situation, right? Like, and also I think that's what makes a breaker. Every single breaker I've met has a little bit of fuck the status quo type of like personality, a bit of stubbornness, where it's like when you get challenged, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna prove them wrong. And I think that's why there's not a lot of breakers, because it takes that kind of personality to be a breaker. You're not a breaker if you're only been breaking for 5 years, in my honest opinion. When you start to cross like the 5-year mark, then you can kind of call yourself a breaker, because you've put in the time and effort in the culture, and you kind of know, like you have years under you. Because I've seen people that had so much potential, so much promise, then they just quit. And then they just say, oh yeah, I used to break in high school. And I'm like, cool. In my head, I'm like, I get you, but you didn't really break. How many jams did you go outside of your city? How many jams have you traveled outside of the country? Right? Like.
And the more you do that, the more you just realize how much you don't know anyway.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like, travel. Goddamn travel. That's what you need to do. Takes a certain person, and takes a certain personality, takes a certain time that you put into it. Like when some newer guys show up in the scene, I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, you do your best to be accommodating and be welcoming, and you try to teach them the best way possible. But you know how it goes. Some people show up one time, some people show up for 10 years.
Let's see where this goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Like, as a person that's put in so much time, you don't want your time wasted. That's the last thing you want. So it's like, again, that's why some people are super hesitant to, I guess, share knowledge or even like welcome people in, because of that fact. Like, people come and go, and you never know who's gonna stick. You never know who's gonna actually put in the time, right? Everyone gets into this for the wrong reasons, but everyone stays for the right ones. It's a very beautiful like culture, but you gotta love the damn thing, because all of it, not just the movement. Like, you gotta love the entire thing. That's the thing.
Really well put. In for all the wrong reasons, out for the right ones. I like that one. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, bro. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
And we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.